Have you ever wondered about a place where gravity doesn't work? Welcome to the fascinating world of gravity, a force that pulls objects towards each other. It's the reason we're not floating around right now, but instead firmly rooted to the ground. Gravity, in its simplest terms, is a force of attraction that exists between any two masses, any two bodies, any two particles. It's what keeps us grounded, literally. Without gravity, we'd be floating in the ether. It's the invisible force that keeps the planets in orbit around the sun. But here's a fun twist. There are certain places on our very own planet, Earth, where gravity behaves a bit differently. These are places where the laws of physics as we know them seem to be bent, where objects roll uphill and where you can lean over without falling. So, is it possible to find a place on Earth where gravity doesn't work? Let's find out. Imagine driving your car uphill and suddenly it starts rolling back uphill. Sounds weird? Welcome to the world of gravity hills. These are places that defy the laws of physics, or so it seems. At first glance, these hills appear as any ordinary hill, but the twist is, things roll uphill instead of down. These peculiar locations are scattered across the globe, from the United States to India, and they all share one thing in common. They mess with our minds. The secret behind this mind-bending phenomenon is an optical illusion. The layout of the surrounding land, the shape of the trees, the horizon and the slopes can trick our brains into seeing a downhill slope as an uphill one. For instance, take Magnetic Hill in India or the Spook Hill in Florida. Your car will seem to roll uphill on its own, defying gravity. It's bizarre, it's fun, it's gravity hills. But what's the science behind this strange phenomenon? Time to dive into it. Gravity hills may seem magical, but there's a perfectly scientific explanation for them. The phenomenon is essentially an optical illusion. Our brain is an expert at understanding our surroundings. It constantly picks up visual cues to help us navigate and understand the world around us, including discerning what's uphill from downhill. Now here's where the trickery comes in. In places like gravity hills, the surrounding landscape is laid out in a way that it confuses our brain's perspective. It makes us perceive a downhill slope as an uphill one. So when you see a car rolling uphill, it's actually being pulled downhill by gravity, just as it should be. The illusion is so convincing that even water appears to flow uphill. So it's not that gravity doesn't work in these places, it's just our brains being tricked by an optical illusion. So it turns out there's no place on Earth where gravity doesn't work. We've journeyed together through the fascinating concept of gravity, dove deep into the mysteries of gravity hills, and even explored the science behind these captivating places. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned. Gravity, that invisible force keeping us grounded, is present everywhere on Earth. Yet there are places like gravity hills where our perception of gravity seems to be defied, where cars seem to roll uphill and water appears to flow the wrong way. But as we've discovered, these are nothing more than optical illusions, brilliantly crafted by the layout of the surrounding landscape. These illusions captivate our imagination, making us question the very laws that govern our world. In truth, they serve as a wonderful reminder of how our brains can sometimes interpret the world around us in surprising ways. Next time you come across a gravity hill, remember it's not a magical place where gravity doesn't work, it's just your brain playing tricks on you.